On this episode of The Meliza Show, we sit down with Adam O'Neill, better known by his stage name Adam O. He takes us to the start of his journey as a singer-songwriter, producer, and actor. Adam shares more about his dynamic approach with blending genres in his music and showcases his laid-back, humorous personality throughout the conversation. We have today the one and only Adam O on The Meliza Show.
Look who it is.
How are you?
I'm great.
Oh my gosh, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How you dealing with the cold out here?
It's not that bad.
You feeling?
It's not that bad.
Yeah,
Give me a chance to put my cool jackets on.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That is really cool jacket.
Yeah, I like it.
Move, groove, and drive.
Yeah.
Firm love.
Shout out Zara. Zara, send us a little check for this episode. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Zara, take notes, please.
You know.
No, it really is good. Honestly, thank you again so much for being here. Your vibe, your energy, ever since the day we met. I think it was like backstage New York or something.
Yeah, it's like we knew each other forever.
Yeah, and even this whole conversation since before we even started rolling, it never stops. But I just want to take us back to the beginning. You know, when you really got started. I know you were born in St. Vincent. You grew up in the U.S. There's a lot of history there. Talk to me about
the beginning. Okay, I'm gonna give you the cliff notes because we have a time limit.
Yeah, we do. We're not only yes.
So yeah, born in St. Vincent. A lot of people don't know that. And it's not something that I hide. It's just what happened is like I was born in St. Vincent, and I think before I was even 2 years old, my parents moved to the U.S. or the British Virgin Islands at first. And then, so to talk on the St. Vincent part, I don't want to be out here being like, big up St. Vincent, and I don't really know much about the island to be an ambassador in that sense, you know. But me and Skinny Fabulous and Problem Child was speaking about it, and I'm gonna actually make an effort to go back and learn more about the community and the island and my roots.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Take your time. You know, do it.
Yeah. Now that I'm an adult and I could move around a little more freely, even though adulting is ghetto.
Oh my gosh. The amount of expenses and things you got to take care of.
Oh my God.
Surviving.
Crazy. The price of socks went up. Like, who does that?
It is. Like a 6-pack now, what, $15, $16?
I don't know.
You can't even get a 1 pair for $2.
People going barefoot out there in these streets.
I don't know about here, but maybe the islands, but then you gotta really get your pedicures. Anyway, sorry.
My God, so we moved to the British Virgin Islands at first, and I lived in an island called Virgin Garden, right? It's right next to them. The bigger island is Tortola that everybody knows, but there's a little island next to it called Virgin Gorda. And that's where my father's family is from. So we lived there for like, I think I was until like I was 10. Mm-hmm. And then we moved to St. Croix, which is the U.S. Virgin Islands. So grew up from like 10 to like 18 in the U.S. Virgin Islands. 2 to 10 British Virgin Islands. Okay. And then in infantry, you know, come into this world to 2, St. Vincent. Okay. Right? So that's the timeline. Just in backwards.
Okay.
Right. Went to the U.S. Marine Corps straight out of high school.
Saw that.
Because my grade was bad.
That was the reason why. I'm sure you...
Shout out my cousin Diane because my mom used her report card to make me feel even worse because she was an honor roll student. Yeah, you.
Yes,
you got shot to her later and put it in there.
Send me a picture.
Yeah, my mom was like, look at these grades and look at your grades. I'm like,
you got cousins.
What's family for? You know, just have a cousin that just, you know.
Doing better than me.
Can I say shit?
If you can. If you want.
Just shit on me. You know what I mean? I don't know. You didn't give me the rules.
Hey, no rules. This is
no rules?
Show. Whatever you want.
Okay, I'm gonna say all the bad words.
Just press
okay,
no.
No. Yeah, management over there, like, you better than that.
I know. It's like,
But yeah, I went to the Marine Corps, did about 10 years, 2 deployments there with the U.S. Marine Corps, Iraq, Afghanistan. Wow. I was a helicopter mechanic that whole time.
You're smart.
Yeah. My head is big for no reason. I got smart later.
Okay.
The thing is, my problem was I like to play too much. I was that kid that I wanted to be outside.
Yeah.
You could tell I like to crack jokes, so I was always the class clown and them kind of thing. It didn't reflect good on my grades or my ability to pay attention. And I think low-key I have a little ADD because I can't like focus on things for too long. Like I'll read a book and be like, I'm over it. And then go do something else, you know? But Military, I had to get smart because now I'm walking on helicopters. There's people flying somebody's mom or dad, and I can't mess that up, you know. So I had to like get my life together.
Yeah.
And had a successful tour with that. Got out, and then I was doing music while I was in and even in high school. In high school, I was like a little R&B singer, you know, my little R&B thing.
Yeah.
I used to call myself Adam Love.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
So typical red man. You know? Yeah, and, you know, doing my little thing, singing my little Boys to Men covers and stuff, trying to, you know.
Can we get a sample
But
right now?
in the islands, huh?
So can we get a sample at this moment
A sample?
of you just singing Boys to Men?
Back then, man, I could sing better now though. Back then it would have sounded so like before puberty sounded, you know.
Hear it right now, like at this
I
moment.
make love to you like you want me to. But this is me singing with training now.
Yeah.
Back then I was like in my note. You know, like I was terrible.
Oh
But
my gosh.
that's all a part of growing up.
Yes.
You know, you learn. Nobody comes out of the womb just ready to go unless you're like Michael Jackson or Kes or somebody like that. You know, them guys just. I don't think Kes ever sang a bad note in his life, to be honest. Like, what the hell? You're making me look bad. Oh, shout out Kes's album dropped today. Go check that out.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
He did amazing on that show, performing. Just really showed up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go listen to the album after this.
Too.
Probably tomorrow when I'm on my flight.
Yeah,
But
that's a good idea.
yeah, so R&B, and I had a lot to do. I was really into R&B in the high school. I was still, you know, so you can't get away from soca being in the islands at all,
No.
you know. But I just really like R&B. Then I realized like, yeah, island people ain't trying to hear me sing no Boys to Men.
No.
So I need to kind of rough it up a little bit and get my stuff together if I want to do this soca thing.
Like that.
So I got into the soca thing. I want to say it was 2008 was my first like official soca song called Sweet Love. Do not go on YouTube and look up the video because it's cringe for me.
Hey,
But you're not gonna go look it up, okay? So don't go look it up. And don't put it like a little square right here while I'm talking either, okay?
Okay. I'm gonna do it on the edit. I swear.
Watching you. I'm watching you.
I'm
Watching you too.
I've even edit, so you know.
So yeah, so I did
Yeah.
Sweet Love. That was Daddy Jones was the guy who produced it.
Okay.
It was on a rhythm with Tian Winters out of Antigua as well. His song was a song that was like really big. My song got big within the Virgin Islands as well, but not like catastrophic big. But people knew it. Like, who's this guy? You know,
Adam Love to Sweet Love to
Adam Love, the Sweet Love, the
Plenty Love.
Tanty Lover, to I mean, it just evolved. I'm the Tanty Whisperer. I don't know if you know that.
I kind of caught the vibes in your performances. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, Tassie real looking.
The tanties that come forward when they hear Adam on stage. I love it.
It's your energy. That's what it is.
I love it. I love it. So just kind of to follow the timeline, I'm in the military now, and then my younger brother, he moved in with me because he was going to like some music school in Atlanta.
Okay.
So he was like, bro, I have an idea. We should start a band. I was like, okay. Because we were both doing music with like solo.
Okay.
And then another friend of ours who's like a musical director, plays the keys and all that stuff. He moved up to Atlanta too. So we just started a band called Cool Breeze. And we started doing like VI style music. You know, we would do covers of, you know, like Trini songs and, you know, big songs within the soca industry. And like infuse it into our set. So you get a little bit of like our cover band and a little bit of the original stuff. So I think that band lasted for like 3 years or something like that. And then life happens. Everybody just, you know, have a family over here or this wants to go to college, this, that, that, and we just kind of broke up. And that's when I was like, well, I still trying to do this music thing, you know. And that's when Adam O became like
Adam Love.
entity. You know, and that's how I built it. And then out of nowhere I tried different songs throughout the years, and then the one song I didn't think was gonna hit is what hit, which is Warming Up. I wrote that in like 2 hours,
What?
recorded it on a mic just like, but not just like this, but similar to this. in a room similar to this on a little plastic table.
What are you saying about this?
I was like holding it. Well, no, I'm saying it's like
the starting ground.
Amazing room. But it wasn't, what I'm saying, it's not like a fancy studio.
Official studio,
Nah,
yes.
it was not.
This is grassroots, by the way. We are building. So
This is great. This is better than a lot of people got right now, you know?
But no, carry on.
I'm going to do my podcast in my bathroom. To start mine there. Adam on the pot, guys. So today...
You are too funny.
This episode is sponsored by Charmin Wet Wipes.
Wow. The acoustics in the bathroom, though, are unmatched.
If you see a podcast come across your timeline with me on the pot, just know it was birthed here.
It was birth here, movie. Footage of that.
You gonna volunteer for the camera work for that one?
Dude, you gotta...
No.
No, she's like, I don't know.
You want to do the camera work for my blog?
Oh my god.
On the pot?
On the pot, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how many angles is the question?
I mean, all angles. All of them.
If I can get a small... How did we even get here?
I don't know.
Small enough camera, maybe.
I don't know.
Only with Adam. Rewind.
All right. No more shit talking.
Literally and figuratively.
Right.
Talking on the pot.
Telling you. So yeah, like warming up. I literally just in my room in my mom's house recorded it. I was like holding the mic with like a sock over it.
Stop.
I wish I had footage of this stuff. It would have been so cool.
I believe it though.
And I was just like, you know, it's the wine and queen of this guy. You know. And I sent it back to the producer like literally in 2 hours. And he was like, well, damn, you just walk fast. I was like, well, you know, I just write about 5 to 6 songs a day and on a good day. Like I don't just go. Yeah. My brain is always ticking, you know. And when I sent it back to him, funny story, it wasn't even supposed to be a single. It was supposed to be a rhythm, like an actual like multiple song project. But the other guys were sticking. And he called me frustrated like a month later. He's like, bro, your song is done. Let's just go. Mm-hmm. And boom, there it was.
Wow.
First soca hit.
I think about that song and us at fetes and parties and we're just having a time. And I'm just like, now I always think about a sock over a mic.
Yep.
And how that really came about.
Yep.
But it's incredible to see what has become to what it is now and where you are right now. Right. Speaking of which, did you ever experience like adversities or any obstacles that you had growing up? Did you ever come to a point where you're like, is music really for me? Or was it straight like, US Marine Corps, I'm doing music, I'm enjoying this?
Yeah, there was a lot of struggles. One of the biggest struggles, and it's not so much of like a struggle anymore, but it's still something that's present at some capacity, is the fact that I'm from a very small region. And with anything, you need the people to amplify whatever it is. If you look at Afrobeat, Afro has the numbers that makes America's numbers look really small. So, you know what I'm saying? Like they can develop
continent, the entire country,
like a core fan base that spreads across huge continent. No, a lot of people assume that I was Trini when they heard warming up, and they even used to say "Juka no," and I'm saying "Checka no" in the song, which is not bad, but I'm fitting into a place that I'm not necessarily from. So it's a struggle because, okay, he's not a Trini, but he's singing something that sounds like us. Yes. Which, and I am very grateful to Trinidad and the entire market and even the artists for being very welcoming. Like anybody could come. Once you have a vibe, you're allowed to come and party with us. I love that about Trinidad. But it's something to where there's a benefit to where, okay, if voices from Sawa, you know, there's a Sawa group of people that's going to back their boy. That's voice. Exactly. So for me, I have Virgin Islands as well, but we're just you could probably fit the Virgin Islands in Sawa. You get where I'm coming from?
I do.
So it's a struggle in the sense of I still get, it's not that I don't get love or I don't get this or that. It's just I have to do a little bit more to broadcast what I'm doing, especially new songs. Yeah. And it's to the point of warming up. Warming up was almost 2 years old before it hit, because it took the Trinidad DJs and the different DJs to okay, we keep hearing this, but who is this? Because let's be real, Caribbean people, if we know you, all right, bro, good, cool story, but I don't know you. You know, we're not gonna get as invested, and that's just how it is. That's how we are, and there's nothing wrong with that. But big up Private Ryan. And I mean, a lot of people like to argue with this, but I feel Private Ryan was one of the people that had bus warming up, because during the pandemic, he had put it at the beginning of his pandemic mixes. So I literally woke up one day with a bunch of people tagging me in the mix and using the mix in the audio that of the video. Look, our boy, you know, and I was like, whoa. And after that, like literally, it was just an uphill trajectory, you know. So Ryan was definitely somebody that helped me broadcast that to a market that I'm not necessarily from. But you know one thing with the Caribbean, if it's vibes, it's vibes. We don't care what you look like where you're from, nothing. But once you have vibes, we hear in the water, like half the people don't even know that guy's from St. Vincent. They don't even know what his name is, but they love the song, and that's just how it is. But it's a struggle, to your point, where me being from such a small place, the Virgin Islands. And then the Virgin Islands is not necessarily like a soca mecca like Trinidad, or even like with Grenada and jab music. That's the place for that. You know, Jamaica is the place for reggae. The Virgin Islands is more of a melting pot. We love everything.
Yeah.
We have Pressure Bus Pipe. He's a reggae artist, huge artist. I do soca. We have Rock City. One of the brothers just won a Grammy, first black writer. You see what I'm saying? So we have so much different cultural juggernauts that embrace cultures from different places, but it's not necessarily the origin of the Virgin Islands, if that makes sense.
No, totally.
You know, so I would say that's one of my biggest struggles with what I'm doing right now. But that's why I lean so much on social media with like the funny videos I do and like the remixes I do, and I integrate them into songs that people, because like even I did one the other day where I spliced a Shensia song with one of my songs that I released actually right before warming up. And now I'm getting tired of people who saying, I just discovered this song because of this video. So it's just, it gives me a more creative kind of challenge to sell myself and my work, you know.
No, I completely get that, and that's a big inspiration from this show itself. I'm like, Adam O, you know, had DJ Private Ryan on this too, and just having those people that you see, but you don't exactly know what they're about. And I'm like, I need to make this global. I need everyone to know.
And I appreciate this. This is why when you reach out, I was like, yes, we need more of these.
Yes, because there's a disconnect. I almost feel that there's a disconnect between one. We're gonna get into it a little bit later, but soca itself. So different in every island, so different from every country, and the sounds, and like you just mentioned as well. And on
that's a docu-series.
That's right there. I know, right? We're gonna put every little snippet of what everyone says, but that alone, and then just who you are as people. Like you just spoke about it. I'm this coming from a smaller island. I'm now into some bigger markets, but it's just harder to get that reach when you don't have your hometown always present, I guess. And we were just talking about this, right? Affordability to go to each of these events or each of these carnivals around the world if you want to tour, like
expensive.
That alone is a lot. So big up yourself and keep doing what you're doing, because a lot of people like it, right? They see it, they all of a sudden, you have your coffee mug and start doing. Guys,
I gotta start selling that coffee mug. I gotta find out.
You really do. Add it to the AdamOMerch.com. It's got it all in there.
That's the actual site.
It is.
Go check that out.
With t-shirts and bodysuits, everything.
Everything.
Guys. What would you say has been your favorite collaboration or artist to work with, especially in this journey so far?
Favorite collab. I would say my favorite to work with would definitely be Nadia Batson. We have songs, but they're unreleased.
Oh.
Yeah.
Exciting.
So, yeah, big up Nadia, because Nadia is not only... We became friends because she is like a mentor to me, you know? And what I love about her is she's the exact same like what we was talking about. She don't care where you're from, what you look like, none of that. Who are you? You know, and that's how we became friends. And she's a genius with just melodies, and her pen game is insane. And I learn a lot from her, you know. And her producer / manager, Aiko, they just have this different kind of like they're nerds. We all are nerds in a sense, but they're like real nerds to tell you like, yo, listen, they're not on that type of melody right now. We need to go here with it. And it's like, and the proof is in the pudding. You know, this is not somebody who's like a bald barber. You know what I mean? It's not like a barber without no hair trying to tell you how to have your hair. Like this is somebody with hair telling you, hey, this is how you should wear your hair because it works. Ace Abanton, I did a song with him called Tick Jam. That was one of the funnest songs I did because I've always been a huge fan of him and the bouillon style of soca. Like we talked about different types of soca. Dominica has a style named bouillon. If you didn't listen to it, go check that out because that is a fun type of bunks. Yeah. Like you just can't stop moving. You're like, I don't know what's happening, but I like it. I like it a lot.
I feel like that's why Bouillon was made. It's just like
yeah. And he's like I would say arguably one of the biggest artists in the bouillon sector of soca. So for him to answer me back and be like, yeah, I'll do the song with you was huge for me, you know. And I would say those two for sure was amazing people to work with. Big up Salty with Shiredi. Akeem is actually his manager, and he's Akeem 2.0, who just be on the radio. That he actually wrote Akeem's part.
I was gonna say I saw his name credited as well. Okay.
Yeah, so he's actually he ghostwrites. So I don't let the cat out the bag. But he wrote his part for Salty. I came up with the hook, and that's another good one. But yeah, I would like to have more collabs. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
That song's always in my head, by the way. Last year, Jamaica Carnival, that's all I sang. I was like, I don't know why. I heard it at every set, but it stuck in my head. It was stuck in my head after every set. All I heard was like, she ready. She, you know, like that's all I kept singing. I was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm ready.
When I write, I try to write. I try to recreate moments. So when you get in that moment, it sticks. Like she warming up, she ready. Those to me is like how I think you would be in this moment while this beat is playing. You know, so that's kind of how I came up with it.
It was almost like you said, you can't stop moving. I can't stop singing it in my head. I'm like,
right. Like when Problem did, boss, I'm not coming to work today. It's like, bro, that's a moment.
Yeah.
You know, you literally wake up Monday through Friday like, I do not want to go to work. No. Working is ghetto. I don't like this.
You know?
Like this. And you know what I'm saying? So no, that's a huge song. And I feel like when you connect to moments that people could, no matter where you are, I might make a song about, you know, adulting is ghetto Lex.
It can happen. And
I find the right melody. Look out for that.
If it does, I want to be the first one to hear it.
Of course. It's birth here.
Yes, it is.
We birthed two things: a song idea and my blog.
Podcast pot.
My on the pot with Outlook. I could see how that's gonna sound. Like every episode, just be like, all right, guys. So,
Huggies wipes
and we're like fuzz out all of this. We'll fuzz this out, so you know what I mean? Because kids gotta watch it too. We can't make it too revealing.
Can you imagine? Actually, it's like, I cannot believe this right now. He is just going all out, but I can actually see that coming.
Just look, watch that change my life. Y'all laughing? No. Watch this.
Is this the direction you want to head? Yeah. Hey, we got approval.
She's the one got answer the emails back.
Yes, we are.
Yes, his writer does include the pot and the toilet paper.
You gotta get new toilets and everything.
Yeah, we gotta take it all over the world. Have people sign the pot. Can you imagine seeing me on a stage, Carnival Monday or something, and I just on a pot? People just like,
you never know. It could be they started making like the kids, the trainer potties, like that could be a extension of it. Anyway,
give 15%.
We're gonna have an offline conversation. But no, you speak a lot about your style, your music, your songs, and you just have so much versatility.
Thank you.
So much in everything that I've heard so far. You might be sounding like, you know, you're of one genre and then another genre, but then all of a sudden it's mixing a sound. Right. Where did that inspiration come from? And is that just how your mind works, or tell us more?
Yeah, my mind is a sponge. Like I listen to everything. When people ask me what's my favorite song or genre, it's so hard for me to even like say one. You know, obviously I'm gonna say soca because Yeah, soca for life. No, but for real, like my playlist is so like when people tell me, okay, I'm driving, you DJ, I'll be like, you sure you ready for this? Because you might hear like some System of the Down, Limp Bizkit.
Okay.
I might throw in some country in there. Like I might go all the way to London and pull some artists that you never heard of.
UK rap.
Yeah, like because I feel like music is the universal language, and I my life mission for myself is to try to understand it the best I can and package it, because and it's crazy because I just spoke to somebody about this. The market of soca, they want what they want. That's just what it is, and it's not a bad thing. They spend a lot of money to get on these planes to come to a fete, and they want to hear what they want to hear. Southern vibe, you know. But there's so much different dimensions of it. And I think this has a lot to do with the streaming aspect of soca, where I would love if people give me a chance for me to give them a body of work, and I'm working on it, to where you could listen to this not necessarily at a fete. This is something that you could listen to and you don't have to be in a fete to really enjoy it. Does that make sense?
100%.
Because you can enjoy the ones in the fete at home as well, but it's just a thing where it's like, you could hear Savannah Grass in your car every day, but when you hear Savannah Grass on stage, on Kiss, singing it with the band, it's a different vibe because it was designed for that. So I just basically want to design a body of work to where you don't necessarily have to be there to get the full essence of it. Does that make sense?
I almost feel that way sometimes with Tackback and Kes. Now we keep Kes. Like I was listening to that after Carnival on repeat because it was just such a good song. The melodies are chill. I don't necessarily see him perform.
Perfect example. Perfect example. So I have a lot of music in that realm. And it's not out because of, listen, let's be real, I gotta pay the bills. Okay, guys, and I can't be singing you when kind of vibe when you want to hear indie water, that's what you want, so obviously what's out right now is the stuff to play at the shows so I could get booked and come party with you guys and entertain you. But I am working on a body of work that is more in that realm where you say like the diversity, a lot of sultry / soca stuff. I love a lot of old school like Born in Flames and stuff like that from the Small Island region, because I just feel like those guys were ahead of their time, and I just infuse that as much as I can in my music. So that's where it came from. I don't know. I think it's just how my brain perceives the world of music, and it just manifests that way.
That makes sense. And you just explained to in the sense of you have a passion to want to learn more about music itself and just what it has done.
I would just randomly go to I went to this, I think it's One Music Fest in Atlanta, just randomly bought a ticket, and like I think Janet Jackson was headlining and Meg Thee Stallion and these different artists, and I was like, The Dream was there, Bryson Tiller, and I was just like,
vibes.
It don't necessarily have to be a soca show all the time. And then two, I don't want to be regurgitating what other soca artists singing, because that will happen, whether you're trying to or not.
It's all about the same culture. It's all about the same energy that kind of comes with carnivals, especially. Speaking of carnivals, do you have a favorite one, or is there
favorite one? I ain't gonna lie to you guys, and I hope I don't get beat up for this, but my personal favorite is Grenada.
Okay.
With
that one a lot.
Grenada is a vibe.
Nice mass, yes, with the jab.
The oil you down and everything, and man, I actually, when I went to Grenada, to explain it the best, that was the first time in my adult life that I felt like a kid again. Because think about it, you go to a Juve or a Monday, Tuesday mass anywhere in the world, you still are adults. You're having a good time, but you still have to listen. I have my profession. I can't be seen on camera doing all of this and nah. Grenada, when they put that oil on you, and you just seeing people enjoying themselves, they were enjoying themselves because Grenadians don't give up. They don't care. They go have a good time, whether you like it or not. Listen, these people was playing Mass. I don't know if I'm saying this right. They was basically up before Juve started.
Okay.
Full energy on the road, just playing their own music, and the Juve ain't even started.
Wow.
And then when the Juve started, they did it again.
I've heard that a lot. Like they really incorporate, no matter who you are, I don't care if you're foreign, you're local, whoever you are, you're part of this too, and you're gonna have the best time.
I love it. I had so much fun in Grenada.
I need to go.
That's I don't know how anybody gonna beat that. No. For me.
Is that so much that you're gonna go back repeatedly every year?
For sure. If I gotta spend my own money, I'm going back.
Yeah, I'll see you this August. Yeah?
Yes.
August? Yeah.
Yes, I need to book my ticket after this.
Yeah, because they don't say the prices go up way quick.
Right. See, Mr. Killer got a room I could sit out there chilling. Killer got extra room for me.
We're not begging, but we're begging.
I beg it.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of the Carnival world and just kind of how you've experienced each of them, what are some highlights that you would define, especially being a performer? I know recently you were in St. Martin for their Heineken Regatta.
That was great.
Yeah. Tell us more about some of those experiences that you've had.
Highlights of my career performing wise. I would say, again, Nadia Batson introducing me to Trinidad my very, very first time, especially coming out of the pandemic, and I wasn't able to deliver my song to the people because you get a big song, you go to that year. I wasn't able to do that because my song was like a pandemic hit. So now coming out of the pandemic, I'm on a stage in front of all these people, and then Nadia Batson introduces me, and they receive me, and I was, this is it. Like I've arrived at the place that I dreamt about. Like this is all the nights in my mom's, house with the plastic table and the sock with the mic. It's paid off. Yes. And the people genuinely had received me. Yes. I'll actually give you the video, but there's a video that I have post where I have like an actual little recap, and I think it's pinned on my page. That's one of my ultimate favorite moments. The Heineken Regatta was a very special one for me too, because that was the first time that I was able to open for Taurus Riley, and I'm a huge fan of him as well. And this is like Heineken itself puts this show on. Yes. So that was like huge, and they flew me into my band too. Wow. And St. Martin is always up there. I've been going to St. Martin for a few years now, and they just always show me love. So I feel like the people themselves felt proud for them as well, because like we saw this, we've been on this journey with you. Yeah. From the time you was on a little beach on a little stage to now you're on this huge stage by a corporate company, and you open it for Taurus Riley, dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Amazing. That was crazy. And I would say, just to kind of, because I could probably give you like a bunch of them, but I would say the third one was when my government and again the Virgin Islands, they allowed me the opportunity for me to have my own night during Carnival. Oh, nice. So what I did is what we do in the Virgin Islands is we have 7 days of a free concert every night. Every island does this. So we have 3 carnivals, St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. John. And you get 7 days of free entertainment every night, 3 times throughout the year. Okay? And this is not like free little DJ, no. This is like, last year we had the Vito, Dexter Daps, Patrice wasn't there. Nadia Batson, Destra, Olatunji, I was there as well. Like this is the caliber of artists. Yeah. Patrice was there actually a year. Yeah, she was there. So you get them this for free. Wow. In the Virgin Islands. In a large, wow. Yeah, so if you want a little low budget getaway, I'm about to check out the Virgin Islands, all right? Yeah. And they didn't pay me to say that. Let's be honest. But no, I'm a ambassador of the Virgin Islands, so I wasn't put on. So they gave me my own night. Wow. And I was able to put who I wanted on the night. So I had Cine Fabulous, myself, Nadia Batson, rest in peace, Ricardo Drew, voice. I feel like I'm missing somebody. Triple K from Dominica. All in one night. My night.
For free.
My night. So it was basically like I started the show, I brought everybody on, and I ended the show. And in front of my hometown.
I just got shivers.
This is like over, I think it was over 5,000 people that was in front of that stage. Yeah. And I think it was the first time my mom saw me on a big stage too. So she was glowing. So I would say that is like definitely my top 3 moments in.
Oh, I didn't even know that happened in Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I'm gonna make a call and see if they could bring you down. Cause that'd be cool.
Sign me up for the next one. Seriously.
Yeah.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
We have a lot of offline conversations that we need to have. But you can bring up your mom. Has, talk to me about the family dynamic and how that has been growing up, especially going into this industry in your career.
Well, man.
I mean,
I have to look at my cousin real quick to see if I should even talk about it.
I mean,
so just not to get too crazy, my family was a serious Christian family. Like my mom was not on that. No, we ain't playing no kicking she back door and them songs in this house. No. You when you're outside in the streets, cool, but not in my house. We playing, Donnie McClurkin and them kind of thing is what we playing in this house. I am blessed. That's what we doing. Amen. So when I started even doing like my little R&B thing, my mother had loved the R&B thing because she was like, okay, he ain't too crazy with it. He doing me little stuff, cool. But when the soca thing come around, and let me tell you, the same band I was telling you about, Cool Breeze, our hit song was a song called Duck Up. And the lyrics go, as we duck up, your girl gang cock up. So,
you and your
you
brother.
See your face?
You and your brother.
Imagine my mom's face. She was not happy. And she's like a big church lady, like the community knows.
Okay.
Sister Denise is the church lady.
What's the youth in the family, sir?
Huh? That's why there's a lot of these for real. And I just didn't care because I just knew what I wanted to do. And fun fact, I now support my mom doing this. So it all worked out. You see, God works in mysterious ways.
Wow. So would you say like your brother also had that, I guess, challenge?
Yeah, he definitely did. Yeah.
He was trying to
my brother is more of the introvert. Okay. I'm the extrovert.
Got it.
But he's very creative. Like when he writes his melodies, the stuff he comes up with is super. And I believe a lot of introverts are like that because instead of being an extrovert that's just yapping on a blog all day, they're just on the side sitting and they take it in the wall, So while I was there taking pictures, he out there, writing the next hit. So we had a nice balance, and he had a little bit more struggle because he used to program rhythms too.
Oh.
So he would like sneak out of my mom's house to go down at this one beach to play at this little band, and my mother didn't know where he was, and when she found out, she got all mad. But
some of the best things come when you rebel.
we have the best stories. I know, when you do it when you're supposed to do it, it'll be the best time. I don't know why, but
it just happens to be.
That's why me and the police.
Imagine Adam as a police guy.
And I was a police. Sure. Are you listening to it, soga? Alright, don't speed next time.
Everyone get a block.
Play a groovy and get home safe, okay?
Chill on that booyah.
Yeah. Play a tack back.
Yeah, take a tack back, Give us some back.
Cruise on.
Hilarious. When you think about where you want to see yourself in the future, I know you spoke about just want to diversify yourself and understanding more about music. Okay. Do you ever see perhaps tapping into different worlds of music, or are you sticking within the soca world? Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I just don't. One of my biggest fears is to be confined. Like I think this came from being in a small community too. Like I posted this one time on my stories and I got so much like responses from it, to where when I was young, I literally used to do this all the time. I would look up and every time I see a plane, I would wonder like where it's going. What does that country look like? What do the people on there look like? What do they say? What do they eat? Like, you know what I'm saying? So musically, if I end up on a stage in Africa with Wizkid, that would be great. You know, for me, I just want to see how far I could go. In the sense of where I see myself, I don't know. I just know that I want to do as much as I can while I'm here, and just do it as good as I can. You know, it's, to me, it would sound cliche for me to say my biggest goal is to be the first artist at the BT Awards. I would love that, but I want more than that too.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
But it's one, like you said, can't confine yourself to one goal or one specific direction, because you have a lot of aspirations and ideas way than what you want to do in life.
I just want to see how far I could go. Just sail till I fall off the edge of the earth.
Are we flat or are we round?
We round for sure. We round. We love round things. We're round.
I used to go.
We're round.
I start cracking up jokes. It's just like
They just get us all the time.
You know, I agree. Like, I think that's what the purpose is of life. You live it to then explore who you are and what you're trying to do. I want to take us, you know, to more of a sentimental, more topic of mental health itself. Have you ever had to overcome any of those moments, or like talk to me about some of their experiences?
Between the military and the pandemic, like
Not alone.
Yeah, I could take a breakup better than those things.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
I wasn't like, what?
Yeah, for me with breakups, just to touch on it quick, I don't feel like I own anybody.
You're right.
I think that's a lot of problem that most people have in relationships, is they feel like I own you, like low key, so they don't want to let you go.
Yes.
And then now we have a toxic relationship because we're trying to make something work, but we just need to let each other go. You know,
Go your way.
you don't own me, and I don't own you. Go grow somewhere else. But to go back to my point with the mental health, I really dug deep in my soul to get out of the pandemic mentally, because nobody was ready for that.
Nobody knew what was going on.
Nobody was ready for that. We didn't know just breathing air was affair.
Yes.
You know?
It was so hard to navigate, because you're like, am I allowed to do this? Am I not? And then
It's crazy.
depending on who you're around, that also made
It's insane. And then I'm in a market to where you gotta have thick skin. You have to realize that you cannot please everybody. There's going to be somebody that is going to, you could post a video with 100 million views and 100 million likes. There's gonna be one person that don't like that video. You know, that's just the wall. So you have to build that kind of thick skin. But the pandemic took me to a different depth of my soul, where I had to really see how strong I was mentally. You know, because I just didn't know what was happening around the corner. Nothing I could have done could secure tomorrow for me. So that really drove me into just despair. Everything you could think of was just my everyday reality.
I remember that time for me as well. You and I are quite extroverted. We're out there. We almost have to rely on external. It's not even validation. It's just we just want to be happy-go-lucky outside. Like you said, looking at that plane, knowing where it goes. I want to be on that plane knowing where it goes. I want to be able to perform on a stage. I want to be in front of my next guest having an interview, or just having a conversation and hugging and loving.
That's your passion.
You know? And so when that's kind of stripped away from you, that's when you start to question what's going on.
And then the thing is like, you're calling other people and they're like, me too. And I'm like, somebody's got to know the answer to this. Like, you know, all you could really just say is like, guys, you just have to hold strong. You know, but that whole strong part is what I'm talking about. That meant something different for me. When I would say to myself, hold strong, like, okay, hold strong in a job firing you. It's different from hold strong and your girlfriend's no longer with you, or, you know, somebody passed away or something. Like, that's different types of hold strong. But pandemic hold strong was like, I don't know if I'm built for this. You know,
I took it to the point, and it's not about me today, but I literally left this country. I went January 2021, left, booked a one-way to Cancun, and I didn't come back for a year and a half. I was at, we'll get into that another day and stuff.
That's
but
cool,
but that's how Meliza Travels began. That's how I started.
Really?
Like, not began, I've been traveled before.
Yeah.
But the hot footness, me just being in different countries, learning about people.
Good for you.
Yeah. But
no, good for you, for
it
real.
made me really discover.
You know how much people want to do that? I can't do it.
I know. I was very grateful for my opportunity at the time.
I know people that has never left the Virgin Islands. Like,
There's
never in their life.
people that
and
never
these are
left
people like in their
Toronto.
60s, 70s. Never, ever been on a...
It's not for everybody either. I realize a lot of people don't feel necessarily comfortable with just travel as a
I have to.
right? You have to
go.
somewhere new.
Have to go. I have to go breathe somebody else's air.
Right? So I was feeling the same, but thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
It was not an easy time, and it's clear that you brought yourself to a better light from
Yeah. Yeah, even like real quick to wrap it up, I was probably one of the first people in Miami airport, and that was the most eerie feeling, because just imagine being in a Miami airport and nobody's there.
Yeah.
You're hearing the flight, whatever's boarded, and it's just echoes. It's like me and five
weird.
people walking around this huge airport.
I was there 6 days ago, and
Yeah.
even with
So
TSA, it's still slow, and there's so many people.
So imagine that with nobody there. And I'm on a flight going to another country, because the Virgin Islands is one of the first countries to open back up.
Yes.
And I can't remember where I was going, but I was going to a gig somewhere, probably in the States or something.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first gig outside of the pandemic, and that was so eerie. It was so weird. Like, even when I got to my destination, I was just like, yo, things need to get back to normal quick. Yeah.
I guess not my hack, but when I did first book my flight to Mexico, it's like, there's plenty of people out here.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was living life normally.
Yeah.
They had like checks at the Walmart, or they had checks at, masks were required in certain places.
Right.
But other than that, it was very much like normal living.
Yeah, I followed this page during the pandemic. I think it's called Black Tulum.
Oh, yep.
It's like a group of people that got together, and they all did exactly what you did.
Yeah.
Did you meet them?
I'm sure I met
Probably
somebody
met
there
them at some point, yeah.
But a lot, life was lived normal back in those different countries. And I would research too. I'm like, what is open and what is not requiring anything?
Right.
Went to Colombia right after, and then Puerto Rico. Anyways, we'll go to another day. But
I'm
I'm just saying that full 180 of where we were, where we are, and hearing that Miami airport's eerie and quiet and echoey, unheard of. And that's how crazy.
I don't want to ever experience that again. I am good.
Let's put that in the past. Yeah.
Leave it. Wash it away.
Yeah.
This is a part of my podcast, so I'll turn around and flush the pot. No bad vibes, guys.
It's down the toilet. You can never see that again.
Get an angle of me putting the lever down.
Blur it out, please. Okay, just make sure you blur it out. Oh man. Being so well traveled, having been able to experience different places around the world, would you say you also have a favorite experience or a country?
Like country? St. Martin is definitely up there for sure.
Same.
Food wise, Trinidad is probably my number one. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't even gonna lie. Trinidad food is wow.
Yeah. What's your favorite kind of cuisine, or the type of food they have?
I could eat doubles every day. To be honest.
With its sweet sauce and everything, or just
everything. I think Rody had make a video on it the other day. Rody the comedian. He used to be on 96.
I may have seen it come
Ojo and them.
Yeah.
But he made a thing where he said, you ain't eat a doubles unless you by the side of the road, cup it in your hand, slurp it, it have to be done that way.
It has
to go home and eat a doubles is insane.
Yes.
It is taste different to me. I need it fresh, wrap up and give it to me, and I there on the side of the road, slurping down. Yeah.
Full experience.
Yes. Oh my God. My own boy. Getting a headache.
You want some?
I love doubles.
I could just pop up shop and be like, hey, Trinidad doubles right here, on the side of the road.
No, but Trinidad definitely experience-wise, I was blessed enough to my first time in Trinidad be there with a hit song. So I experienced it in a way that probably most people wouldn't be able to. And then I went there just regular, street man thing. We just on the side of the road kicking it, little crab and dumpling kind of situation. So I got to really experience that. So I would definitely put Trinidad up there. Grenada again. Love St. Martin. if you haven't been to Anguilla is a vibe.
Beautiful beach.
Anguilla is a vibe. The Virgin Islands, of course, my home. I always love going home. Love the people at home. And then I would say Ibiza was really interesting. Like really interesting. I would like to go back there just like on my own time. But it was interesting. It was like European meets Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was interesting. I can't say that.
Anything more.
Like I loved it. Like I did like it, but it was like really interesting.
Were you there for a festival? And it was
there was like
EDM
Ibiza
vibes?
soca thing that they had out there.
So good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they just do it every year. I think this year they're in a different country, but
Okay.
yeah, Ibiza Soca Festival, I think it's called. It was me, Asa Banton, and Ola Tunje and GBM that they brought out.
European Caribbean.
And a lot of people from London come. Because
that's
for
true.
them, it's like a shorter flight and stuff like that.
And especially London's diaspora is very
Yeah.
compared to Toronto almost. Like
Yeah.
we're very diverse. We got into the Caribbean culture.
Yeah, but I still have a lot on my list to go. I haven't been to Jamaica. I haven't been to St. Lucia. Where else?
Well, those are coming up.
Guyana. I haven't been
If the flight goes down, I'll see you in Jamaica next week.
Yeah. If they go down, yes. Please, airlines, help me. Help us.
What's you? Yeah, I honestly, travel is like what they always say. It makes you richer, even though one thing you spend money on that makes you richer.
Yeah.
I agree with you on all the food topics. I think I gained like 10 pounds living in Trinidad. I was living there 3 months. That was like one of my stops. Whew, when I was traveling during the
How could you
pandemic.
not gain pounds?
Bacon, shark, shrimp and fries.
not? Oh, it's so worth it.
Have you had? What was your first meal in Toronto when you came?
My first meal
Yeah,
ever?
or like just when you guys arrived yesterday.
We ate at this spot in the mall.
Oh,
Earl's.
oh, I heard of that one.
You had Earl's?
Yeah, yep.
It was good. It was a really good steak. I had a steak and lobster.
But my Sherway, right? In that area.
There's this big mall. I don't know the area.
Yes, but right, got it. Earl's, but yeah.
But I would say that the first time I came to Toronto, shout out Camille. Camille took me to this place. I think it's downtown Toronto. There's like a mall downtown.
Yeah, Eden Center.
That's like it's like you go
Go
down.
downstairs,
Yeah. So in the food court in there, we got some dim sum. And that was the first time I ever had dim sum.
Really?
And oh my God, dim sum is on my list for food. And like, wow, where has that been my whole life?
That has been my whole life.
But I never had dim sum. Go get dim sum.
But the fact that you had the first time at a mall and you're impressed. Okay.
In a mall?
No, you gotta. There's.
Well, hey.
Like down the road from here. Right,
Let's go. Turn the cameras off. We're done here. And cut.
No, dim sum is my life.
Yes.
It's called hagao, but it's shrimp dumpling.
We had like an assortment.
Siomai.
I ate all of them, yeah. So I probably did eat that.
Yeah, you probably did.
Jesus Christ. Wow.
Wow, you're a foodie then.
Yes.
Yeah, you can really.
What? If I'm a foodie.
Oh shoot.
We can't do the food on the pot, so I'm gonna do a different vlog.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that, even for me, that's a little too much.
That's almost counteracting.
Yeah.
Like we're trying to release, but
The
we're trying
food
to.
blog would be before the pot blog.
Yeah. We could do that. We recorded
Put a
an
light
episode.
bulb right here.
We're going to episode
Light bulb.
eating. Grab one of these.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm gonna say we're gonna record an episode eating, and then you do your potting. Like I'll just be like,
Yeah. You should put food in this.
I know, because I have my Meliza Eats going.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Get
It's
people's reaction to dishes.
no, that's exactly what's. Are you stealing my ideas? Because
Well, yeah. I hacked your phone.
No, right? I was like, that's literally my list of notes. How did you know? No, honestly, it's just amazing to see again what your journey has been, what it's become, and what you're trying to get after.
Thank you.
And it's going to these carnivals and hearing music from the different artists that speak to, especially like yourself. Like, it's amazing. It's just an amazing experience. So I just want to congratulate you on that, on everything that you're doing. Would you say, lastly, like a piece of advice, like for those that are looking up to what you're currently going through? And I understand, like you just mentioned, you may not be exactly where you want to be, and you are working towards where you want to get to, but a lot of us are still, aspiring to be someone like Adam O. A lot of us look up to you. So,
Man, what's crazy is like I am very attentive to the universe, and I'm saying that to say I answer that question differently every time. But just recently, something I saw made a lot of sense, to where he was saying that if you don't appreciate the process, then you won't appreciate the reward, right? And that really touched home for me because, like, we had all these discussions. Every single thing I went through, whether good or bad, is what made me appreciate where I am right now and even where I want to go. So for anybody looking at this, I would say, yes, it sucks right now. It sucks. It's hard. Nobody believes in your vision, even down to your family members, maybe even your spouse. The people you love the most don't get it, but you just have to go through the process, you know, and just trust the process in a sense and have faith in yourself. You know, I think a lot, social media has made us, it's good and bad. And one of the bad things is I think social media does make us feel like we're not good enough. And sometimes we're even better than enough, you know, but we just have to keep going. You know, it's like, even I'll use myself as an example. When I did Warming Up, I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't even think the song was good enough.
Wow.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
No one would have thought that.
I did music videos for other songs that probably nobody even knows, right? When Warming Up blew up, the music video came out a year later. So imagine the song comes out on 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, it's blown up, and then the 4th year gets a music video. You know what I mean? And that's to show you, like, I didn't believe that it was good enough. But you keep putting stuff out into the universe, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. There is something called divine timing that is real. That's top tier type stuff right there. Divine timing, and divine timing has nothing to do with about should I release it Monday or Wednesday or maybe Friday. No, just release it whenever. It's going to find its time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Lyrical, and he knows this because we spoke about this. His song Look Back last year, that was his hit song. He didn't even post it. He didn't post it yet because us as soca artists, we just have so much rhythm compilations that we be a part of that sometimes we don't want to overwhelm you guys with too much posting. So he was getting to post it, but he didn't post it yet. And the song took off before he even posted it. He was pushing another song at the time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Divine timing. It's going to find its time. You get me?
No, I'm literally in shock right now because my friend over here, Davey, we always talk about the universe and divine timing, and this show itself has been its own everything, but divine timing. Because who would have thought we'd be here sitting right now? Who would have thought?
See? And did you say in one of your videos that you didn't even plan to do this? Like, you had a different plan to do something else?
Yeah, there was a lot of
You see?
There's a lot of different elements that came to play, but look what happened now.
Right.
When's your birthday?
September 7th.
But that's why, okay, everything's starting to make sense. I was like, what the heck is going on?
Put another light bulb right here.
Right. Honestly, in regards to divine timing, I'm so confident, and I can see the future of knowing, and I'm not sick or anything, but there's so much success on its way to you. They're already, all of it is already in your, it's already in you.
And the same for you too.
Cute. I'm gonna just do this.
Yeah, we changed it.
This is some like real universe energy exchange, but I honestly, I see it. This is why, you know, your music has done what it's done so far. This is why we're here right now. We're having this discussion, and this is why all the things that are on its way to you are coming to you. So
I received that.
Keep doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see everything that comes to life. And oh my gosh, let's go get some dim sum.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it so much. You're the best. Oh. You're awesome. Vibes.
You guys are awesome too. Love you. If you don't want us.